the front row, Bobby East in car number 19. David Steele in the 29, along with Leffler. He'll start back in row 3. First 2 rows, East and Michael Lewis. Steve Payton in the 0. Jerome Brodela in the 25. You saw Leffler and Steele, the 129 and the 29. They are in Dino Tomasi's cars in row 3. The 4th row, Garrett Hansen from Manhattan Beach, California in the 76. Ron Gregory out of Noblesville, Indiana in car number 22. Row 5, Aaron Fike out of Galesburg, Illinois. The RFMS 32, Teddy Beach of Donaldsville, Ohio. The Beach Boys 125. Row 6, Brad Kuhn from Avon, Indiana. He's a rookie in this race in the 74. Former champion Dave Darland out of Lincoln, Indiana in the Guardian Racing number 8. 7th row, Cole Carter from Brownsburg, Indiana. The Carter Racing 7. Tony Hunt is from Fair Oaks, California. The Bob Rosen number 4. The 8th row, veteran Tracy Hines from Newcastle, Indiana. The Wilkie Pack 11. And Rick Moss out of Linwood, Washington in car number 50. The 9th row is J.J. Yaley from Phoenix in the Steve Lewis 9 car, the series champion. Billy Weiss out of Noblesville, Indiana. Talk about youngsters, high school students in Bill Weiss's number 12. Row 10, Ryan Durst from Lincoln, Nebraska. Race rookie in the 51, the Durst Motor Company car. Veteran Wally Pancratz. Talk about a contrast from Orange, California. Ray DeVos 29X. There's the traditional 4-wide grid as we get ready to go green. Row 11, Josh Wise from Riverside in the 94. Won the transfer race earlier. Ryan Olstrom from Puyallup, Washington in the 77. The 12th row, Tom Hester, Cherry Hill, New Jersey in the 5. Todd Beach from Donaldsville, Ohio at age 16. The Beach Boys 15. The 13th row, Jay Drake from Val Verde, California in the 71. Matt Streeter in the 97. Row 14, Matt Mitchell from California in the 37. A.J. Pike out of Galesburg in the 69. And the 15th row, Tom Meserol from San Jose in the 10. Shotgun on the field is A.J. Felker out of Jeffersonville, Indiana in the 37X. So 30 drivers, 30 cars. Great competition, Larry Rice.
Great competition. Before we get started, we want to offer our condolences to Shirley Boyd, Johnny Boyd, all-around great guy, great friend of mine, and a lot of guys in this business. He passed away recently, and we just want to offer our condolences to the family.
Certainly Johnny Boyd much missed, especially here on the West Coast. He was from Fresno, I believe.
From Fresno, you know, he's a great ambassador for the sport. He was he had a little bit of a temper, but that goes along with driving race cars, I think.
Well, there you see Bobby East in Steve Lewis's 19 car, Michael Lewis in the 40 alongside. Now, does Lewis have an advantage? He ran so well in that sprint car race. I would think he'd know where it's faster tonight.
Well, and he knows what he wants to do. That's the most important thing. He won this race here last year by running the same groove he ran in that race, and he knows now that it will work, so he'll be up there again.
Steve Payton in the black 0 starts third. Jerome Brodela in the 25 alongside. 100 laps to go. Glad you're with us on speed. They're 3 wide and 2.
And it looks like the black car that took the lead from the second row in the last race. As Payton goes to the bottom, he didn't quite pull off getting around those guys, but it looked very much like the move that Aaron Pierce pulled in the first race.
Bobby East is your early leader. Payton in the 0 to the bottom. He wants the point. That's Lewis in the orange car up high. Look at him carry the left front wheel. Dave Steele up into the mix quickly in the 29.
Yeah, he's running right about a car length off of the bottom of the racetrack. Michael Lewis running up. They're really running 3 different grooves. All 3 of the first 3 guys running 3 different grooves on the racetrack.
That's Brodela there in the yellow number 25, shuffled back to 5th. David Steele is on the move.
David Steele appears to be very quick right now as he's moved up several positions and now challenging for 3rd. That's Michael Lewis that he's challenging.
Steve Payton in the 0 right there in 2nd behind leader Bobby East.
Yeah, we're riding along with Riddell now, and he's back there in 5th spot and trying to, you know, he's trying to hang on to Dave Steele, see if he can run the same groove, see if he can figure out some way to get around him.
Steele trying to work along with Jason Leffler in the 129. He's in the other Dino Tomasi car in this race. Maybe learned something as well from the sprint car main, in which he was never really a factor after starting up in the 2nd row. Bobby East with about a 4-car length lead.
He certainly does, and he's just kind of hanging on to that lead right now. Everybody, you know, it's a long race. 100 laps is a long way, but if you're one of those first 6 guys, you're doing okay. You don't have to get around anybody right now. But if you're deeper in the field, you better be pedaling pretty hard because these guys are pulling away a little bit.
Payton now under attack. Steele in the middle of the racetrack in that black number 29 grabs 3rd. Quickly 3 wide. He's going to try the bottom on Lewis for 2nd.
Yeah, you can see right now, that's Jason Leffler in that other black car that's coming up doing battle with those guys. He's in the team car with David Steele.
Steele, one of the Mopar-powered machines in the field tonight, riding with Rodella in the 25. Shuffled back to 5th spot. Fourth is Payton in the 0, directly in front of the car you're sitting in with Rodel.
Yeah, right now, Payton has moved back a couple of spots, but Michael Lewis back in third. But look at David Steele. He's up there, and here comes Leffler's. He's going around Rodella.
Bobby East in the 19 is led all the way, but David Steele out of Tampa, Florida, and that black number 29 wants the point to the bottom.
Boy, he's looking pretty quick right now as he got down on the bottom of the racetrack. He's taking that lead, and Bobby East, you know, it looked like Bobby East just thought, well, I'm going to let it go.
9 laps short of halfway, you're watching the USAC Mopar Turkey Night Grand Prix presented by Lucas Oil. Welcome back live to Irwindale with Larry Rice. I'm Rick Benjamin. Dave Argerbright downstairs for us tonight, capping off what's been a terrific season of USAC national competition here on speed. David Steele out of Tampa, Florida, grabbed the lead about 15 laps ago. Larry, nobody's had anything with that 29 car so far.
No, so far, that's a Mopar-powered car, and he's really had his act together. And like we said, when his race car is right, boy, he is tough to beat, and it appears to be pretty much right tonight. Now, the second car, Michael Lewis, he's got an Esslinger Ford in that car, and, of course, his teammate is running third. He also has a Mopar.
There's Leffler in the 129. Jason started alongside Dave Steele. He has steadily moved his way toward the front as well. Mike Lewis, though, doing a great job in second, the defending race champion. As we mentioned, Steele won it here 2 years ago. David driving the Dino Tomasi car. He's got some big changes ahead for next year. Bob Gratton, his longtime car owner in the Silver Crown Series, put his equipment up for sale recently.
Yeah, he certainly did. That makes a big difference, and you got to go out and try to hustle up a new car. And so he's going to go ahead and run, I think, well, he's going to run a Silver Crown car for Bob East. So that's one thing he's going to do. Of course, Tony Stewart's part owner in that operation. He's going to run Tony Stewart's sprint car on the pavement. So he's got a couple pretty good rides already picked out.
Dave Argerbright, I think that Bob East and his bunch have made a terrific choice in David Steele, don't you?
Absolutely. When you go pavement racing, it's just hard to find anybody more skillful and confident than Dave Steele. Larry Rice, you're exactly right. He's poised to run Bob East's number 9 Silver Crown car, the 20 Tony Stewart sprint car on the pavement dates, and then returning the 29 Dino Tomasi car. So as much as his competitors hate to hear it, Dave Steele's poised for another great run at USAC next year.
He's really good on dirt in the Silver Crown Series. He should be a title contender next year.
Yeah, look
Trouble.
at this.
Jason Leffler's off the racetrack in the 129. Caution will wave. Did Leffler spin that car? Did he have a mechanical problem?
It looked like he just pulled down there to me. He's throwing the steering wheel. Doesn't look like he's a very happy man right now. So I guess we'll find out what happened. But he,
Somebody must have helped Jason get
I would say that there was not it was not all his doing, whatever happened. So
they universally recognize you're number 1, Jason.
That's right. So he's pulled that baby off the track. So let's take a look. As he went down to the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, it's lap traffic.
Yep, contact there.
Contact there, and looks like he bent something in the front end.
Patient racer.
Well, you know, it serves him well in some cases, but he'll learn that when he goes down to NASCAR. He'll have to be a little bit more patient in some instances. And of course, sprint cars is where he really shines, and that's why they call them sprint car races. You got to go for it.
David Steele is the leader. Quickly opens the advantage. The 51 of Brian Durst not on the lead lap. It's Dave Darland in the red number 8. Next in line, Darland also not on the lead lap. He's back in 15th spot. So 14 cars are left on the lead lap. As we watch Michael Lewis back there in that orange car, he's the car number 40, trying to sift his way through the slower machines and get up so he can run again with Steele. Here's Yaley now to the high side. He's going to get by Payton. Maybe it's 3 wide.
Well, those are lap cars that are in there, and it's very exciting when you get some of those guys running a little bit sideways, trying to thread the needle. Looked like he had it threaded, but so did Payton.
Here comes Lewis now. He's working his way up on Darland to try to clear the lap cars and get up and run with Steele. All of this, of course, gives Steele another opportunity to jump out to an even bigger lead.
All right, that's Rick Moss in that black number 50 car, also a lap car there. So these guys, you know, it does get difficult. And when you get 30 cars on a half-mile racetrack like this, you're going to get some crowds going on.
Moss in that 50. He's a standout from Washington State, the Western Midget Racing Association champion many, many times over. Payton in the 20, or rather Payton in the 0. Rodella in the 25. Here's Lewis in the 40, running second, but he's nowhere near Dave Steele at the moment.
Rodella having a very good run. He's running there third and hanging right on.
J.J. Yaley in the 9 car has moved his way to 4th. He's got to work his way around Moss, the lap car in the 50. Yaley cleared Payton at the 0 a lap or 2 ago.
Yeah, he and Michael Lewis are the 2 guys that seem to run the top of the racetrack and be very happy up there around the top of the racetrack. So, you know, later in the race, especially if somebody should throw a little oil down at the bottom, those guys could have a heck of an advantage.
Yaley also trying to get by A.J. Fike out of Galesburg in the 69. Started back in the 14th row. He's going a lap down now to the leaders as well. Payton takes the opportunity to come back on Yaley.
Yeah, Payton's none of those guys not giving up. He's going right after him. There's Tracy Hines and Cole Carter. Right behind them or right ahead of them is Beach, so those guys running pretty hard.
They're 7th, 8th, and 9th. Teddy Beach in the 125 there. Tom Hessert in the red number 5. He's not a factor in this battle. Tracy Hines in the Wilkie pack number 11, one of the Mopars. And then behind him, Cole Carter in the 7, and they are 7th, 8th, and 9th. Hessert going a lap down.
And Cole Carter spent most of the day in the motorhome. He was sick all day long. And he'd go out, he'd run, he'd go right back, lay down in the motorhome. And as of about an hour ago, he still was not feeling it. Look how low on the racetrack he's running. He was clear down there. He was cutting the grass down there with that left front, it looked like.
Great run for the 11th car with Hines. Hessert in the 5 now dropping back. Teddy Beach with a nice day going in the 125 up to 7th. Hines is 8th and 9th to Carter.
Yeah, the one thing about Carter, if he's not feeling well, 100 laps is a long way, and it could affect him before the end of this race.
Well, David Steele on a Turkey night drive, perhaps to his 2nd career win in this race. Still 40 to go. We'll be back.
There that Michael Lewis has to work his way through.
91 laps are on the board. 9 to go tonight at Irwindale, and we are back underway. And that 29 has just been on rails.
He just absolutely hasn't missed a beat. He's run every place. When he got in traffic, he went around top, he went around the bottom, he went around any place he wanted to go. That thing has been perfect. Look at him sawing the wheel right there, though. He's still driving the wheels off of it. He's not letting it rest, let me tell you.
Carter and Wise. There's Ron Gregory in the Gary Irvin car, the 22. There's Lewis in the 40. He got by a couple of the lap cars quickly. He's going to give it a shot here. He won the Western States Sprint Car event earlier tonight. Wants his 2nd straight Turkey night win. Still, he's got a little bit of time.
Well, and he's not going to give up. He showed us that in the last race. I mean, he was back and forth and close and not so close, and but he kept digging and just kept digging and digging until right at the end he made it happen.
Steve Payton in the 0 car, moving by the 9 to make that the 50 of Rick Moss from Washington State. And there's Rodella in the 25 cars. They battle for position. Payton runs 3rd. Rodella 4th. J.J. Yaley, the Triple Crown USAC champion, in 5th in the 9 car.
Yeah, so those guys still battling for position. Rodella hadn't given up either, and he's trying to, going to get a little tight right there as 3 cars side by side.
Rodella runs in 4th. Lap traffic a big factor here. 5 laps to go for the leader, Steele. 5 to go.
Yeah, it's pretty tough on these guys right now. Here's Yaley, and Tracy Hines gaining on him right now.
Yaley runs 5th. Hines is 6th. One of the Beach cars. That's Teddy in the 125 there in 7th. So 5th, 6th, and 7th in the heavy traffic.
Wow, Beach went right around the lawnmower route 2. Went right down to the bottom of the racetrack, still running way down there.
5 wide as we get late in the going in the Turkey Night Grand Prix. Steele all alone, 2 to go this time by.
The only other time I've ever seen anybody run this low on this racetrack is when there was so much oil on the racetrack, they just kept moving down and down. But Beach moved right to the bottom of the racetrack on both ends, really.
He's way below. He's below the dash line there. He puts the slide job on Yaley and takes over 5th.
Well, he got a little wiggly right there, but again, right to the bottom of the racetrack.
White flag in the air for David Steele. 2001, he won this event here at Irwindale, gunning for his 2nd career win in the Turkey Night Grand Prix.
Well, certainly nobody was going to deny him tonight. He had that thing from the very first lap dialed right in, and nobody's going to stop him.
From Tampa, Florida, David Steele scores his 2nd career win in the Turkey Night Grand Prix, and a big wreck at the end. That's Tracy Hines in the 11th. The 97th car also in some trouble. Matt Streeter from Manteca, California. They tangle on the final lap. Steele all alone heads to victory lane.
Well, he did a terrific job. Like I said, he certainly earned it. Michael Lewis finished in second. Payton ended up third. Rodella, who had a terrific race, came home in fourth.
Denny Beach, Yaley, Bobby East, Tracy Hines gets